Thanks, guys. It's going to be the last presentation today, so I was already told to keep it short and sexy for you guys so that we can go and all eat and enjoy the food. That's why we're here, right? Unfortunately, you can't really read the title. The title is also somewhat deceiving because it says how we successfully integrated PortaBilling and PortaSIP into our infrastructure. It should actually say how we integrated it, because I'm going to get to it in a second. But first, about me. I'm 23 years old, so I'm, as always, when I deal with telco stuff, usually the youngest in the room. I'm used to it, but I own up to it with my knowledge. I'm a second-generation ISP telco, let's say, enthusiast. My parents founded Ticinocom about 30 years ago in '96 when dial-up was a thing. And I joined about 9 years ago. I don't even remember when it was. So I think I wrote 2015. So yeah, I started answering phone calls of angry customers you don't want to deal with in Brazil. So let's say that I got some patience out of that to not talk about any negative things. I told you that I work at the family ISP, which is Ticinocom, but I'm wearing a different shirt. So let's get into it. Ticinocom, as I said, is a family ISP. We have, what did I write, about 40,000 subscribers. It's a blended number because we offer a lot of services. My dad is very creative. So let's say today he kind of stopped doing it, but a few years ago, he would just come with his laptop into the technical team and say, oh, guys, I just have this new bulletin board. Let's just try it out. I have this new forum. Please install it. So we have a lot of different things that we offer and sell. But the biggest services we have are listed here. So we have broadband, mobile. We're a virtual mobile operator. So we're under someone like you guys in Brazil. Fortunately, I would like to have more control, but I don't. And then we have VoIP, TV. Hosting is a big thing. We run on cPanel. And we have about 10,000 hosted websites that run on our own infrastructure. So we also have DC services, data centers. So it's very fragmented and very complex. And the second thing that I wrote down below is METAVSHN. And essentially, when I said reintegrated Porta's infrastructure, it's because back in the day, there was not really a vendor you could purchase to get software for billing, provisioning, customer support, and stuff like that. So my parents basically built software to make that work. And that was when I was alluding to the Windows Server 2003. It's still kind of running, but 5 years ago, we decided to basically scrap that and rebuild everything from scratch. So I can tell you, you're right, Andrew. It's not a fun experience. It's not so easy. But when we started engaging other peers in the industry, we figured out that it could be actually something that can be reutilized. So that's why we actually have a logo now and a name. So that's kind of my baby. That's kind of what I want to do in the future. I want to be more on the software side and also stop dealing with customers, consumers, if we want to call it like that. What was the challenge? Well, it was very difficult for us to understand what was going on in the backend because this old system was built as a monolith. So it was very hard for especially me and the team to understand what do we need to extract, what is useful, what's not useful, and actually how are we selling VoIP services to our customers? What are we doing and how are we doing it? So that was the biggest challenge. But I think to our advantage, partnering with PortaOne, I think, is one of the luckiest things that we have done as a company, because out of all of the services we sell, PortaOne has been the most stable, the easiest to work with, and the most reliable, let's say, software partner. I can say with a lot of confidence because I deal with a lot of systems as we converged everything. And I think being able to open a ticket and having a very detailed response, a lot of support, knowledgeable support, even with very experienced people, as PortaOne. I think I don't know you guys personally from the inside, but my judgment out from the outside is that you don't have so much churn on your employees. So the quality of support is very high because people know what they're talking about, and it's not always like dealing with some call center or whatever that just has a knowledge base and scripts. You're talking with people that know what they're doing. So that was definitely, I think, an upper edge we had when we were migrating to this new platform we built. which leads to the solution. It's going to be a quick one. I only have one slide left. The solution was we built this new architecture to be modular. We basically decided to make the whole project work on microservices. So we have microservices for order management, product catalog management, and all those things. And then we decomposed each service and understood that we could have a common API infrastructure for all of the services we sell. And then we made plugins for them, so also for PortaOne. And there, the advantage of having the SOAP API as well as the RESTful API was an advantage because we were able to slowly start porting over all of the requests and processes to this new API while being able to kind of copy paste other things that weren't so much used into the new system just by copying the XML requests that we were doing. And I'm very happy about how we were able to do this. And one side note that's not really related to this is that I think getting back into this, customer support that you guys provide, I think it's very valuable, especially for updates, because even though we're running on premise, I think it's the easiest software that we have to update because your team does such a well job in documenting and helping our team understand what is going to change, what we're going to lose, what is going to be deprecated. So it's a very easy process to keep up to date, even if it's on premise. And I think a lot of people usually don't want to have something on premise because it's a pain in the ass to keep updated. But this is not the case with you guys at all. So definitely keep doing it as you are because it's very good. I can tell you that much. And yeah, that's basically it. So if you have any questions about how we actually were able to commit in building this new platform for us, what the challenges were, if you're interested in learning more, I'm open to any kind of conversation. And as you've seen, I'm curious in a lot of fields. So if you have challenges in other areas that are related to telco, just ask me. I'm curious to learn more. So thanks.
Do you already sell a product to customers which includes AI?
I have a very, let's say, stiff stance as to what it has to do with AI. Especially in your field, there are a few companies that are very, very pungent and they talk a lot about AI. And in my opinion, a lot of these companies that are in the BSS and OSS space specifically should stop talking about AI. Number one, because a lot of them don't know what they're talking about, and they're just some managers that said, go do something with AI because the others are doing it. And who knows what they're doing, I think, doesn't have a good base with their software to actually do something with it. Because, for example, our UIs and our business processes are, I know that I'm talking, everyone talks good about their own stuff, but I think we're miles ahead. And if I'm looking at the traditional vendors, AI, just don't do it and start making a good product, and then people would buy it even if it doesn't have AI. So at the moment, my vision on AI is more like, let's use AI to speed up, let's say, development. I saw your demo on importing the data model from your database and helping it to generate reports. I think those are the interesting aspects. But you still have to have a knowledgeable person that knows what they want to do and what they want to achieve, and just have AI help them get there faster. I know how to code, but I couldn't just make a Java application from scratch. But thanks to ChatGPT, I'm doing everything now myself, right? So I think that's the interesting part, but the rest is just bullshit. Yeah, thank you.